Hey, sometimes maybe you wonder, is this relationship with this person so difficult because of what happened in the past lives? Do we have a history together? In this video, I want to share with you two examples, including my personal story, what might be the purpose for this relationship, why is it so difficult, and also what might be the signs that this actually originated in the past life. So when I am leading a past life regression with people, sometimes a client goes there spontaneously. They recognize in that past life a person they are with in this life. Most of the time, these are good, loving relationships. Sometimes a person does a past life regression to find out what is going on in this relationship because they cannot figure out, they cannot find peace with what's going on with this particular person. I have a friend, let's call her Susan. Susan had a friend who she knew for a couple of decades. They were good friends. And suddenly her friend stopped talking to her for no apparent reason. Even though Susan tried to reach out, there was no response back. Susan decided to take it to past life regression. And she went to past life regression with this intention. And what she saw explained it to her. In the regression in the past lives, both were men, Viking times, and one of them simply chopped up the other. This might have explained why the person stopped talking to her. At some point, she had thoughts and feelings that she maybe couldn't explain, but she didn't feel safe with Susan. She felt like she cannot trust her. And in this life, there was no reason for it, but the original event started affecting her now for some reason in this life. So for Susan, it was enough to understand it and let it go. And you may have this difficult relationship very close to you. It may be your parent, it may be your child, it may be your sister-in-law, it may be one of your friends. I think that there are three main signs that the difficult relationship originated in the past life. First, there is an instant bond, there is a strong connection. You have feelings you can't explain and thoughts about this person you can't explain. Sometimes people say it's weird, but I'm going to say it. This is what I'm thinking. Also, when you are together, you may notice that you are not really yourself. You are kind of changing your personality, and there is no explanation why it happened. This is my personal story. I actually didn't even have to do past life regression. So I had a friend who we became close friends very fast. But I also noticed that when I was with her, I felt this suffocating feeling around my throat. I could not express myself very well. I didn't speak with the same ease as I'm speaking normally with people. And also, every time she would cook something and I would eat their food, the whole night I thought that I was dying. Basically, I had a stabbing pain all over my abdomen, literally as if somebody was stabbing me with a knife. Now, I have different sorts of pain, but this was very, very unusual. I had a very hard time to be in touch with her. I felt like I didn't build up my strength enough yet after the last meeting. So, what was my choice? My choice was either to work on it, to transform myself through it, but I decided to let it go. What was the purpose of this relationship? What is the reason for the difficult relationships anyway? The person is here to teach us a lesson. We don't want the lesson. The lesson is hard, but they are here for a reason, for us to grow through this relationship, to clear karma and let go of any resentment. A good question to ask yourself is, what is this relationship asking me to do? How is this relationship asking me to grow? What part of me is challenged and which part of me needs to evolve? What is the purpose of those difficult relationships? Ultimately, from the spiritual perspective, it is to transform darkness to light within ourselves. It is to grow. It is to clear the karma. And this is what I mean by that. When somebody is negative towards you, you may feel inclined to retaliate, take a revenge, or simply also choose to be a negative person in their presence. In this way, we only strengthen the karma, we only strengthen the emotional ties, the negative ties. And our job in life is to raise our vibration, it is to grow, it is to clear the karma, even though some sources say that we no longer have to do this, but we still have to grow. So, what is the growth about? Their presence may highlight that you lack personal power, that somehow you seek their approval for no apparent reason, that you feel judgmental, angry, you feel hate, you're afraid of the person. Those emotions lower your vibration. So, in the case of lack of personal power, maybe the way you transform through this relationship and grow is to empower yourself. If you are searching for their approval, your lesson is to let go of the need of their approval so that you can approve of yourself and find this ground within yourself. If you feel very judgmental of them, maybe the purpose is to show you how you can have more understanding. If it's anger, the lesson is compassion. If it's hate, the lesson is love, or at least feeling neutral around them. You always have to go towards the higher emotion. You need to raise your vibration. And you can always feel that you feel more free and light when you experience more positive feelings. And you always feel more heavy and tied to somebody when you think about them and feel negative emotions related to them. And when that happens, you are still very closely connected to them. But when you allow for that inner miracle, that inner transformation to take place, then you will feel free. No conversation about a difficult relationship is completed without taking a look at our personal responsibility, our role in this relationship. It doesn't matter what the other person does, because we get empowered when we just look at ourselves, what we can change in ourselves. I'm going to talk about it in the next video. It will not be related to regression. It only will be related to the work we do in coaching and personal transformation.